So let's work with our UI this time. As you can see, I gonna make like a fake prototype for it, nothing major, and the logic is still the same, so we can just close this, and I added a canvas group on the game UI. Let's hit play. Okay, so I'm going to hit start. Now I guess I'm missing a reference over there, but you can see what's actually happening. Now let's find this object that is giving us a problem. Come on. Okay, so UI slot, get components, children. Oh, I think I know what this is. I think I forgot to add something onto my slots. No, we do have the runtime slots. Oh. I think we have to assign the icon hook in this case, and since this is an override, I'm going to basically hit override. Now, one thing that we need to take a look is, as you can see on our UI slot, we have index on each one of these. Index is set to 0, and I think, oh damn it, yeah, this 3 should set to is left. So I kind of want to use by script to assign the index on the slot. So on start, for index, I'm going to say transfer.get symlink index. So this will assign automatically, or let's do this on awake. It will assign automatically the correct index. Now, we already have an awake. I guess we didn't need to assign that or whatever. We'll see. And let's see on apply, UI slot replacer. Okay, save that. We'll use it now. We'll take a look now. Okay, now I think the problem areas, the error is coming from the slots below. So let's close quick slot and equipment slots and see if those are giving us the problem. Okay, so the variable create objects has not been created objects. It's a new list. Then if don't close empties, created objects that count. Oh, I think that, yeah, okay. The load items on slot, I believe, should be somewhere in here. No. Yeah, okay, here's the created objects. This needs to be updated before we do this. Okay, so because we're not really creating any objects in this case, let's do void awake if created objects dot count equals 0, or yeah, okay, let's get that. Then find any UI slot that's going to give us the top button though. Yeah. Get components children. Then for each UI slot, create objects.add s.gameObject. Okay, then let's clear up the references for all of this. So that will mean set this to 0, set this to 0. Let's see, I think our quick slots and our equipment slots do not have anything. Okay, so that will do it for them. Let's open them just so that we do not mess our UI. What? Come on. This one has it. Let's close it and open it again. I think we won't get it again. Yeah, we are not getting it again because we have so pretty much, let's say, let's do it here and delete this one. Okay, now I saw that when we do the select, we actually let's open up our UI slot, and we know that on select, where we have here, we change the color to yellow. We don't want this anymore. But first of all, let's take a look on the prefab itself. So that's the prefab. Let's find the background image, which is the slot. If I change this color, it will also mess this up as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create, well, let's open this in the scene view. I'm going to create another icon, another image in here as an empty game object, where I'll say highlighted, and let's create the image. Let's say, I think this, something like this can work. Maybe we need something that's more prevalent. Yeah, something like this. And we're going to increase its scale. We're going to change the color, and we're going to make it like this, like it's highlighted. Okay, then let's assign that onto the slot image, so background image, and let's close this. So by script now, instead of changing this, we're simply going to say base color background. Okay, we're going to say background image set active game object, set active to true, and background image set active to false. On awake, let's make this the background image set active to false, and now we should have a little bit better looking UI. Okay, that kind of does it, but because we closed the first on awake, that's why we were losing that. Okay, that will do. Then let's see. Let's close the where were we? Oh wait, let's remove this one. Now we're going to have an icon hook for image where we are loading the image. We're going to have another game object where we'll say no icon. So when we are removing when we are removing an item, we're going to enabling the no icon. If we are using the icon though, we're going to say set active to false. Okay, so let's go onto the UI slot again and let's assign the icon. Open that. This is the no icon, and then on my icon hook just going to assign the no icon. The no icon, I had mistakenly added icon hook, so I'm just deleting that. Okay, let's hit play and let's see now. Okay, no icon of icon hook for image has not been assigned. In which one? I think some of the UI slots now have broken the connection. No icon. Let's check one of those. Well, this has them. So which one was it? Let's hit play and we'll see. Well, it doesn't help that it doesn't show us which one. Let's check the quick slots. No icon, and let's check the equipment slots. Well, this has it assigned, so why are you complaining? So let's do if no icon equals null, debug.log transform.name. We'll find it by that. Let's hit play. Okay, so that says icon, just icon, damn it. Well, which one it isn't? Icon. Okay, let's type icon hook for image. Oh yeah, it's probably one of these two, which are not part of our UI. So where this is? Here it is. These are from the quick slots. Okay, my bad. So for the quick slots, I don't want to use the same. Well, we could use the same, I guess. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Well, okay, so in that case, we're going to say if no icon is not null, do it. Same with this. Okay, so let's try that. And we are free to now work with our inventory and basically load the items we want. Well, we're going to just load the consumables right now. We'll fix the rest later. So there is our new inventory. And from what I can see, we can't actually select this anymore, so we probably missed something. So on the UI, on my slots over here, we're going to say on apply UI slot, let's do let's actually open this up and see what we have. On apply, replace RD, apply player profile. Okay, we don't need any of that. I think we just need to go on the navigate manager, or is it on the inventory? Maybe on the inventory. Let's say no, not this. Navigate manager, open select item dialog. Okay, and we need to do the same thing for all of this. Navigate manager, open select item dialog, and let's do the same thing for the equipments and the quick slots. Open select item dialog. Okay, let's hit play. And we can select now our items. Okay, let's see what this is. On store slot, we do not have replace item on store slot, so I think we are missing the store slot. So for that, I think we have to set it up like we store the slot manually. Let's say store slot, yeah, we do this, and we're going to drag and drop this one. Let's do an override and let's see if how much this will mess things up. Yeah, I guess as you can see, we will have to revert all that, but let's try and write this via script. Actually, when we say open select item dialog, I think we probably have this store slot, or we do not. Yeah, we do not keep the reference. Okay, so let's improvise. Well, I can just delete this and add them back in. At least for the hands that will work. For the item slots, it will not work. Okay, manager store slot. Yeah, it will not work. So we have to do it one by one, which means we can just do this and duplicate this like 5 times. Okay, then this one we will have to do it one by one because we have different icons for the equipment. That's the boring parts when you're doing UE, to be honest. Store slot, this one, then store slots, this one, store slots, this one. Okay, and we're missing this one. Okay, save all that, hit play. Perfect. Okay, so selecting now doesn't do anything. Let's see why. And that's select item. We have our masks, we have our slot button. slot button 1. I think we're missing, yeah, I think we have opened the prefab. We left it open, and I'm going to delete all of that. I'm going to close the prefab. Okay, let's hit play. Okay, now let's see, on apply, you're missing. Why are you missing that then? What? Oh, because we applied the prefab, damn it. So that will be navigate manager, replace item on store slot, and navigate manager, open inventory. Okay, well, let's actually break the connection to that. Okay, let's see what this is now. So all of a sudden this on apply invoke the Unity object can be converted to UI slot. What? Yeah, we need to assign this. Okay, silly mistakes, but you see that we are like 20 minutes in trying to fix, just because we did a few changes, we're trying to fix the inventory. That's easy to miss, however, so oh, come on. First time the charm. Okay, there we go. So something weird happened, as you saw. Don't know why it's replacing. Well, okay, I think it works. Okay, so let's put this on the left hand. Okay, they do not translate on the left hand on the UI button, and as you can see, it didn't update them. So I think we forgot something, but we can fix that easily. But let's fix replacing the slots down here and what they will actually open. So let's do the quick slots first. Let's close this, let's disable this, we don't really need it. Okay, then when we're selecting a slot, we're saying to the navigate manager, store the slot, open select item dialog based on the store slot. Now this will have to be the opposite, the other way around. So let's say open select item dialog. Let's go to the navigate manager. Let's do open select item dialog. So we're looking on to, we're closing our inventor manager, we're assigning the new current manager, and then we're loading items, and we're getting all our items. Okay, so this needs to be filtered to be taken by depending on what type of slot this opens. So let's have an enum item type, and we will have, well, we have weapons, consumables, and equipment, or well, we can break the equipment to helmet, armor, so on, so on, so on. Okay, we'll do that later. Right now I'm just going to say open item type dialog, type, then we're going to do a switch of type let's copy this, and then inventory manager, get all items of. This returns us every item we have. We need to only get the weapon items. So to do that, let's return a list, public list, runtime item, get all weapons, and we're going to be creating a result, going to be returning that result, but then we're going to basically go for each runtime item in all items dictionary values, if item dot base item, do we have the base item? Dot item is weapon item, result dot add item. So back to the navigatable group manager, navigate manager actually, change this to get all weapons. For consumables, we're going to do somewhat of the similar thing, but instead of returning the random items, because consumables are a little bit differently, we're going to be returning the consumables hook. Yeah, we're going to be returning the consumables holder. Well, actually, we're going to be creating the list. Let's see, consumable items. Let's see, also see navigate manager, where we want to pass a list of items. Where, what do we do with this list? We pretty much get, yeah, so the important thing in this list is getting the, we do use the instance ID. Okay, we do use the instance ID then. Well, thing is, we can create on the consumables holder, we have a consumable, we can create a runtime instance of each consumable. Let's find one of these. Let's see, current consumable holder, consumable holder. Where do we create this? See, we're not really doing much in here. We add it here. Okay, so in here we basically create the consumables, create a consumable holder from an item. With that in mind, we could create a runtime item. So we will say consumable holder dot runtime item equals new runtime item, and we need the item where we already have it, and we need an instance ID. The instance ID for the consumable will actually be his name. So that means you only need one instance of Bestus Flask. Okay, so when we say now get all consumables, over here, copy this, and we will say get all consumables. We have a list of runtime items. We're going to go through the consumables holder, however. Consumables holder, in consumables, then delete that. So if item dot amount is greater than 0, give me a second, we're going to be adding on the result runtime, we're going to be adding the item dot runtime item. Okay, now there is a case that, well, for the bestos you might actually want to have to even use on one. So in that case we could do on the base item runtime item on the very base of the item, public bool, use when null, or have, let's call let's call it use when null, whatever. And then on the inventory manager again, or item dot runtime item dot item use when null, just as add it onto, return it as consumable. Then on the navigate manager, instead of getting all weapons, we're going to get all consumables. Okay, and that's how this is going to play out. We of course have the equipment, and we can add the case for that, but I think, actually I don't remember what we're doing there, so let's maybe take a look. What do we do with the clothes? I don't see much happening in here. Consumables, item saveables, profile, consumable holder, then we say update references from profile. Yeah, okay, that's where we keep the starting cloth. So this needs to change then. This needs to become an instance item as well. So we get a runtime item too. So let's see, how do we create those instances for the weapons? Get runtime. Okay, so we'll do the same thing in here. And let's do get runtime item from ID. That ID will be the profile starting clothes. Let's add this into a list. Well, actually we already have the list. It's the all item dictionary. Where is it? All item dictionary, add get runtime item from ID. And the first part is of course the ID. It's going to be the name we have over there. Okay, then from that we can get the item. This is independent of this, and we just load the cloth, or we could just get the runtime item itself. And that will be the runtime item, and then if runtime re.item is cloth, then do it like this. Okay, so that's our starting cloth. But now we also have a reference to the random items to our clothes. So we can basically do get all clothes, but it's just way more simplified. Value, then if item dot item is cloth item, result dot add item, and this will return you clothes. So let's try the navigate manager, get all clothes. Perfect. Save that, minimize that. Now we need to set up the slots. So let's find all these slots need to be set to, oh, we cannot control that. God damn it. Do we? Yeah, we cannot control that. Okay, so let's make the UI slot. Go find the navigate manager. And we will do public void open select item dialog. Let's add a public navigate manager dot item type. So navigate manager singleton dot open select item dialog item type. Okay, then unfortunately we're going to have to drag and drop them back again. It's not really anything else we could do, but I think since this is the prefab, let's try this with the prefab. So slot button over here, do UI slot, open select item dialog, and you know what, let's also make it that you will be storing navigate manager singleton store slot. This, let's just simplify this. So open select item dialog, and we could probably even say that, do we have awake? We do. We could find the navigation button. It's under navigatables. Oh, this is also navigation button. Then we'll do navigation button dot on apply dot remove all listeners, then nav button dot on apply dot add listener, and the listener is going to be basically open select item dialog. Perfect, but we only want this to happen. Yeah, we actually broke the prefab from the others, so it doesn't matter, from the items. Okay, so we don't really need to apply anything in here. We're doing that from script. Let's save, minimize that, then I'm going to select all of them. These are weapons, the quick slots are going to be consumables, and then these ones are going to be equipment. Then, just for good measure, let's select the select item. Let's check. As you can see, we do not have the prefab, so it means this is left untouched. Let's hit play. Let's select inventory, and I think we got an error. Okay, so if not equals null, do this. I don't know why this actually returned null, but we could check. Let's check the profile start and close. But there might be a case that we actually do not have an ID, so we're not checking from that for that. It could be that. Yeah, it was that. And here we go. We have weapons. We cannot select this. That's a bummer. Why can we not select that? Navigate. Well, I'm pressing this, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. What happened? Yeah, okay, I think we have some issues. As you see, we do not have anything on the weapons and on quick slots. Let's see where the error is. The error is on the update icon hook random item. Okay, so I'm guessing the get random item from ID. Yeah, okay, I think I know where this is. The get random item from ID is getting it from the all items dictionary. So that means when we are creating our consumables, let's see. Let's do, okay, it's over here. We need to assign on our all items dictionary random item dot instance ID consumable holder random item. We need to add it over there as well. So let's see what happens on the replace item on store slot on apply replace slot. Item replaced item on store slot. I think this happens. Let's see. Yeah, obviously UE is really the most boring thing you could be doing. Okay, so we changed clothes from what I can see, so that's a good thing. Let's see, here's our quick slot. There we go. Oh yeah, I know what that is. On the UE slot, we have broken the connection, but this we're also using the same script, so we should do public bool override or don't override event. So this will be if not don't override event. That's why we weren't changing icons, because we were basically just opening again the select dialog and the select dialog. So I'm just going to go on my select item, the prefab, and I'm going to say don't override events. That's why we were opening again the weapons. Okay, so there we go. We have our quick slots. I think this is the Bestus flask for the mana. Let's see, equipment, we got nothing. We also have no way we could be going back, and this is also wrong, obviously. I don't know how we placed that, but Okay, that seems correct. Okay, let's close it and let's open it again. It seems correct. We do have this error. Let's see what this error is. Load items on slot 41. Slot prefab. What? Why? Oh, yeah, I know. This is, we should do if slot prefab is not s.game object, add it on the created objects. Otherwise, it will destroy the prefab as well. Let's also add on the navigate manager. We have a tick, we have a select option. Let's see how do we use that. Where do we use that? On the A input. Let's do on the B input. Navigate manager singleton dot. Let's write. Actually, we can just say open inventory. We could do public void go back. So that will do. We have to check if select if inventory manager game object active in hierarchy. Close the inventory, else open inventory. But for now I think I'm just going to leave it at open inventory, so we're not leaving the... So we're basically not closing the inventory. Okay, there we go. Let's see if menu is open. We actually do not want to be doing any roles. Get role phase, okay, X input. We don't want to be using on the X input as well, so if menu is open, X input equals false, RB equals false, RT equals false, LT equals false. I don't think you can attack with the inventory open, so I'm just going to cancel that entirely. And B input, it's the role. I think you could move. So let's maybe add the Y input onto for back. Okay, let's try this. We'll check for now what's happening. Let's hit play. And I think I'm going to end the part pretty much here because we covered what we wanted, which is to place the items onto our left hand, onto our right hand, left hand, and basically have different equipment. Okay, this now returned an error. I'm going to guess that it's from, because we do not have items, so current navigatables, navigatables equals 0 if navigatables dot count greater than 0. Now technically you will always have an empty position, just so that you might want to add an empty, that whatever, you can just keep that. Let's hit play. Okay, there's our equipment. The Y input for back doesn't work, and when pressing to select also doesn't work. because we probably we need to do if current is not null in here. Okay, then let's check on the input. Let's see why input doesn't work and where it's based off. Oh, we never check for y input, but how do we do the 200 then? Save, load 200. Yeah, that's weird. Handle 200. Oh, we added it. Oops. Yeah, okay, so this needs to change. This needs to be y input equals true. Or how do we use the rest then? We have d left, right arrow, okay. Then we need to be doing performed. It's kind of a mess in here. Handle input. Oh, we're using get button stats. Okay, let's do that then. Let's cut this. Then y input equals get button status keys player 200 dot phase. So if y input let's copy that, and we're going to add it after we check for menu is open. We're going to say handle 200. Okay, minimize that. Play. Okay. And we can go back. Perfect. Perfect. And there we go. Then we can place this on the right hand, on the left hand. Perfect. That actually works great. And we don't have anything here, so aha, there we go. If you select nothing, it will actually replace the item. If there is no item to place, it will place the last item you had. So let's see why this is happening. And I'm going to say open select item inventory, open select item dialog, inventory manager. Then you do load all the items, select item manager, game object set active. Then on the load items, for each created object you close the other objects. Then what's that? Stored slot, current slot, you load each item, but I'm guessing when this opens, no, navigate manager, select item manager, what it is, yeah, it's a new navigatable group manager. Then on the new navigatable group manager or enable, we find all navigatable components. Cover navigatable is not null. Well, first of all, we're going to say, I think this is the problem, that current navigatable, if it's not null, is going to try, yeah, well, basically we could just say current navigatable equals null. So you won't have a navigatable over here, which means even if you press to apply, you're probably going to get an error because nothing is going to be happening. Yeah, true enough. Current navigatable, so if current navigatable is null, let's see this from 23, line 23, so if current is not null. Save that, minimize. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we have all of this working fine. Okay, then you'll notice one thing. The Estus has a different icon, and that is because I actually forgot to assign the correct prefab of this. This is not the correct one. The correct one will be underneath in the resources, the consumables hook. This will be the correct one. So I'm going to do an override. So consumables bestus now looks like this. Okay. Then on the consumables bestus focus, let's just use the same item. This is over there. Okay. We'll just use the same item, or maybe let's do a new version. Just so we have a little bit more items to work with. And I'm going to replace this material with a new one. So I'm going to change this to blue. Into blue emissive color. Okay. So this one now, it will be like this. Perfect. Then just go back to consumables, bestus focus, use this one. Let's maybe take these two and drop them in here. And I see from cloth types, we have cloth types, samurai, head, helmet, body, all these things. As you can see, we do not have anything on the model prefab, therefore we cannot really create sprites. We do get a mess, however. Anyway, we'll focus on that later. We do have a torso though, for some right body. Anyway, let's finish this. Okay, you see this one, and yeah, we forgot to fix one more thing on the bestus focus. We need to fix the correct positions. So just copy this, place it here, here, here. Okay, perfect. Close that. And now it should look fine. Let's hit play. And okay, let's finish this part. As you can see, we're just doing tedious work right now. Not doing really anything. And oh, come on. Why are you like this? Oh, because we forgot to also fix the ortho size. This needs to be at 4. And the icon scale needs to be at 36. Now we should have it looking. There we go. Perfect. So that's it for this part. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more inventory stuff, more attack stuff, more animations, then consider supporting my Patreon so we can keep making all of these nice things we're making. I'll see you next time.